Welcome back. This is just Brad testing out the everything out here on our screen, making sure we're up and running. So today we're going to be looking for a truck for one of our clients. We're going to be looking for something to pull a boat. You potentially could go with something cheap, like a cheap truck to just pull the boat, or something that that perhaps they can drive daily. That kind of replaces a Raptor that they. All right, great. Thank you so much for putting up with us here. So first things first, we just got to talk about some of our parameters here. We're going to be looking for one that has um, a, a low cost option. So we're going to be looking at replacing a potential Raptor. The client had a Raptor before. They're going to go ahead and go with a cheaper option here. With the cheaper option here. So we could go with the cheaper, we could go with the more expensive option, but let's take a look at what we can find here. Looking at it, they were looking at F-150s, all the questions. So I'm looking for a cheap truck. How's that 5.4 liter engine? Depends on the year. Some years are good with that 5.4 liter Triton. But when you're looking for a cheap truck, I mean, beggars can't be choosers, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and pop into our, let's take a look at the market here and see what we can find. Okay. So right here, you can see that we have you can see we have our screen up here with all of our information. Let's see everything at once. Let's see everything at once here. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull up we're looking at pickup trucks here. All righty. Now let's see what we can find. We're going to shop at a $10,000 budget here and just see what we have. What can you buy for $10,000? What kind of $10,000 pickup trucks are available and what kind of mileage? There's 20,000 of the pickup trucks currently for sale, 20K of them here with nationwide with our parameters. Let's take a look here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and bump it down. Okay, so if we want to just see what we have with less than 100,000 miles on it, let's check it out. Looks like there's quite a bit here. We have a lot to choose from here. Let's see, now we can break this thing down. Let's see what we have in the low mileage, under 25K. Let's see what those are. Want to make potato blue? Okay. All right. We are. Okay. All right, so let's take a gander here. Obviously, the lower the miles, the better. You can see right here we have full listings here with under 100,000 miles. We still have about 1,000 trucks to choose from here. Now, client also wants four-wheel drive, so let's see what that reduces it to here. So trucks in the United States under 100,000 miles, about 1,000 of them. Let's check it. Let's check to see what we're looking like for four-wheel drive. Okay, so it gets a little trickier when we add four-wheel drive. We go down to 371 trucks. So if you don't have a lot of money, you just want to buy a vehicle that's going to have reasonable miles, buy one that's rear-wheel drive. I mean, like there's times, and I'm sure you need the four-wheel drive, right? But if you're in the north, in snow. But even then, there's days where you don't necessarily need it, right? Most days you don't need four-wheel drive in most places. It's kind of, not saying it's an overrated feature, but it's definitely one where, yeah, I have a lot of clients that say, hey, I didn't, I don't need I don't need all I don't need, something that drives year round, something that drives in all conditions. But, but now just to show you that we can get you into something without, any headaches. Like this one right here. This is a 2012 Silverado work truck right here. It's a single regular cab. It is listed as sold, but just show you, it's one that has, it had, before they sold, it had less than 100K in it. It had lots of, this thing's got a V8, so it's going to pull. You do everything you need, 76,000 miles on it. Somebody got a hell of a deal on a truck that will run for a long time, right? It's a single cab, but, 10 grand, right? Not bad. Let's see what else we can find here. So between 92 and 100K, we're finding quite a bit. We got Rams. With this one here, hopefully we can find something that would. There's one right here, a 2014 Tacoma base right here. No, that one's beat up. Here's a Titan XE right here. Same exact truck. So this truck is exactly the same from 2004 to 2015 as far as powertrain goes. You get into some that are a little bit newer. Some of them have, touch screen computers and all that good stuff. This one here is not going to have that, but it is a heck of a truck with less than 90,000 miles on it for 10 grand. We're going to go ahead and put a favorite on that one. No, we're going to unfavorite that one. But I mean, you see, there's always problems with them. It can be a lot harder to find vehicles that have under 100,000 miles that are good as far as trucks go. It can be really hard. Here's a 2006 F-150 right here, four-wheel drive. This one is a low. Yeah, this one here doesn't look like it has any real pictures on that one, so let's keep searching here. Here's a Titan SB. Nissan Titans are one of those that are kind of, one where you can get a really good deal on. You can really get because they just aren't in high demand. It's not that they're bad trucks. It's just that people just don't buy them because they're, not the highest demand truck, unfortunately. But that one didn't look bad. Let's see. Here's another Titan. So I'm seeing some Titans and Frontiers in this $10,000 price point here. Gets you a pretty good truck for the money. Here's a 2006 Titan with 98,000 miles on it. Again, low, not bad trucks, just not a popular style. People don't normally think about going and buying a Nissan truck when they're looking for vehicles. Think about buying something completely different, than like a Chevy or a Ford. They're not thinking, let me buy a full, or even a Toyota, but this is kind of the last one you think about. So they never really got off the ground that much. They discontinued the Titan a couple of years ago, but they're still good trucks. It's hard to buy a bad one. But you can see that there are quite a few options here. We have a 2008 Silverado with 90,000 miles on it. These days, but you can see these are all old, 650 days old at the lot. Sometimes that could be something to consider when you're shopping. Let's see what we have for $9,000 with, so I mean, you see there's quite a few options here. Again, just depends on how much you want to spend. Just depends on how much you want to spend. So right here, you can see there's a 2008 XLT. We got a Dodge right here. I mean, there are a few options, but you can see here's ones with 75,000 miles on it right here. 75K miles on these options here can get you a great truck for the money here. We have an Avalanche, we have a couple of Rams, a couple of Silverados. That would be decent. And here's a Ram tradesman right here. What's this? That's an auto wholesale, right? It sounds too good to be true. It probably is. Let's see what this one. Yeah, this is a Longhorn, and they got it listed as a tradesman. Strange. Anyway, it can be hard to pinpoint vehicles with low miles, but they are out there. You can see. I mean, if you want a low mileage one, they do exist. And you can get them for a very reasonable amount if you are willing to kind of shop a little bit. Now, here's one that does a lot of things here. It has a snowplow on it. This is an ultimate work truck. It's only they use it as a plow mainly. It looks like, maybe a couple other things, but only 50,000 miles on this perfectly operational work truck. Get you a great vehicle for 10 grand. One that will do everything that you can pull. It will do any kind of work you need it to. Perfect work truck. Then when we get in here, they get the lower mileage ones that get a little trickier, right? So here's ones with 40,000 miles. What do those look like? A little bit worse. Each time you go a little older, they get a little harder to get. Yeah, now we're getting into the nitty gritty here. Not much in these price ranges here that are available. So yeah, basically let's break this down a little more here and just see. Let's look at what models we can narrow this down to. Okay, let's check the Titan. Let's check. Ooh, there's one Tundra. There's an Equator. Frontier. Now, the thing about Frontiers and Tacomas is that they usually pull about 5,000. That's about the most you're going to pull with one of those. So, they're not the best if you're towing something big, like a big boat or a big camper or anything like that. They're not what they're the best at necessarily. But, so we got a Titan, we got a Titan XE right here. A couple of Titan XEs. We have an Equator. That's an absolute steal right there. Now this Equator right here, this is kind of another one of those hacks. If you can find one of these, this is kind of like a hack for getting a better deal on a Nissan Frontier. It's the same platform, same truck. When you look inside here, you can solve computers and all that crap in them. But this has got their off-road package on it and only 60K miles on it. I mean, really kind of hard to argue with that. 60K miles on a 4-liter V6, it pulls about 5,000 pounds. This one has the off-road package, $9,000 for, for a truck that's a 4x4. Kind of hard to beat that one. That's one other one, like I said, a Titan like that is gonna, or Frontier is, you can see it's hard to get them with that kind of low miles on them, but you're looking at them with, usually with over 100,000 miles. Here's another couple of Frontiers that you can go with. So see, get you just a really nice Frontier LE right here for 10,000. I would say that